Okay, we're going to start by having a class discussion. And the topic is why do societies have myths? Any ideas? Sure.
To explain the unexplainable?
To explain the unexplainable. Why do societies have myths? Yeah.
To give their society's culture.
To give them culture?
Yeah, like to build their culture around their myths.
Build their culture around their myths. Riley.
To give themselves a glorious history.
To give themselves a glorious history. That's well stolen from last Friday's lesson, isn't it? You're looking confused.
I wasn't here
On Friday. Oh, you just miss out so much when you're not. Yes.
To prove they were once alive and just show their society in one generation.
Okay. Think of a myth you know. It doesn't have to be a Greek myth. It doesn't have to be a classical myth. So if you're more familiar with the Maori myth, or think of a myth you know. Yep. To teach a lesson. Okay. Think of a myth in terms of characters, the storyline. Just all think of one of those. And then we go to where you're going. What was the purpose of that myth? And so you're saying to teach a lesson. Who had a myth that taught a lesson when I said think of a myth? Absolutely no one. So there must have been other reasons out there in the class. Who can tell me the reason you had?
To give meaning why we have night and day.
To give meaning to why we have night and day.
Like to give an explanation.
Aha. So where we started with. To give explanation. Other reasons. So you all thought of a myth when I said think of a myth. And we've had the reason to give explanation. And we've had the reason to teach a lesson. But there must be a whole heap of other ones out there because lots of people haven't got their head.
Maybe to like explain their beliefs of like their goals and stuff.
Okay, explain their beliefs.
Understand them more.
Would we ever go further than explaining? Because by the way, in this sort of discussion, we have explained it 3 times. That's not being repetitive. That probably just means it's a good answer. Okay, so that's good that we're having explain again. Their beliefs. Going further, what else would it do for their beliefs?
Like where something comes from. Because there's like a myth of how the Maori made their flax, and it was because one of their taniwha elder gods told them about it. That's, yeah.
Right.
So that's like part of their culture, like it's how they made it. That's where they believe that wisdom came from.
Okay. Sure.
Sometimes the myths can be to develop their culture already to be more in depth.
Develop their culture already to be more in depth.
So more.
Who understands what Sean means? Sean does. It's good, isn't it? Sean, you're going to have to explain that more for us.
So that their culture can evolve, become more interesting, more information about that specific subject or topic.
Right.